everyone. Welcome back to Immediate Movie Reactions. I am here after seeing Killers of the Flower Moon, and this may be a short one. I'm not sure how much more of my life I can put into this movie. This is the new Martin Scorsese film starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Lily Gladstone, and a bunch of other people. John Lithgow makes an appearance, right? There's a lot in this film, and that's fine because the film is about 12 hours long. It's a captivating story. It's a story that I think needs to be told. I appreciate that it's not a traditional A to B to C narrative. However, I just found myself maybe halfway. I thought I was halfway, 3/4 near the end of the film, thinking, this is it. This is my life. My life is just going to be watching this movie from now to the end of time. And it just kept going from there. The basic story is it's about the Osage native tribe. And I believe when it's starting, it's not particularly clear that when it's starting, they're feeling the incursion of white people and the white folk, and they're losing their ways and their traditions. And then they discover oil and become rich. And it doesn't go too much into how all of that happened. Maybe that would have been a little more interesting, but it kind of jumps timelines. Not that there's multiple timelines, but it jumps time periods, I guess is more accurate. And so what happens is we pick it up later on as they've become very rich, very well off, except their money is, of course, monitored and controlled by the white people. And I think that would have been a great, talk about the loss of the Osage culture and the loss of the people and their identity and what has happened to them because of this money. I think would have been fantastic. The actual murders that begin to happen is a way for one of the characters to try and control and rob and steal and gain control of this money. And unfortunately, it feels like the murders, at some point in the story, we find out that 25 to 30 of the Osage have been killed. There's only 4 or 5 that we actually see or hear about, and 2 or 3 that we ever really care about. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if this was intentional, but it feels like most of the murders were just kind of inconsequential, which I guess makes sense because it also didn't matter to the people. It didn't matter to the white people that lived there. It didn't matter to the government. It didn't matter to the state. It didn't matter to anyone else that the Osage were being murdered. So I can see where that parallel is being made, but I mean, the problem is that it just kind of started to fall a little flat as it gets more into family dynamics, and it's just felt like it was pushing on longer than it needed to be. I am a firm believer that I think we need a little more thought, a little more silence, and there's plenty of that in this film. I think if I were to stop talking for 5 to 10 seconds, I could see in the metrics of my videos immediately when everybody would drop off, right? We don't like to sit in that, and Scorsese kind of makes us sit in sort of uncomfortable thinking about what is happening and watching the characters just have emotion and feel. And overall, Lily Gladstone, she's absolutely fantastic. She deserves awards for this. It felt like DiCaprio was kind of, by the end of the movie, it was just kind of a Carl from Sling Blade impression. But he's okay. And, fuck off anybody who at this point is still saying, I can't watch DiCaprio because of Jack from Titanic. Like, what the hell? Like, he's put in the work. He's proven that he is more than capable and maybe one of the best actors. But again, he was very kind of one note. Robert De Niro is great, but he's, pretty obviously, spoiler alert, he's pretty obviously the bad guy, and how everything ties together, it's very convenient. I would like to have seen maybe a little more sense made of some of the murders, some of the crimes, how these things are happening. Like I said, I want to see more about the Osage people and their culture and how it's being bastardized and stolen. How are they losing their identity? I think this is a movie that is going to say that it's doing that it's telling that story. But I think in the end, it kind of doesn't. I think it fails in that regard. But the scenery, the acting, the costumes, the everything is absolutely fantastic. I can't say it's not a good movie. It's a great movie. It felt a little bit too long. I was fine, like I said, with some of the silences. Maybe there were a couple conversations that didn't need to be there. Maybe there were a couple other moments that occurred in this that could have been cut. We didn't need. So, that's kind of where we are. See it, stream it, or skip it. I don't know that we need to see this. I would like to say that Apple, I'm not an Apple fan. I've been pretty anti-Apple product for many years. But I am signed up for Apple TV because of Ted Lasso. And they are putting out premium content. They're putting out content that feels dynamic, and it feels premium, and it feels, top of the line, as opposed to some of the crap that's coming out from Netflix. And I've got some noise going on in the background here, so I'm going to cut this. See it, stream it, or skip it. I would say stream it, because this will give you the opportunity, if you want to watch half of it, take a break and then come back and watch the other half. I think that'll be a much better opportunity. It is a story that I think is important. I think we do need to hear about it. It needs to be told. I just don't know that it was as successful as it thinks it was. So anyway, thank you, everyone. I appreciate you, and I will see you after the next movie. Please like, share, subscribe if you've seen it. If you agree or disagree or whatever it is, please let me know in the comments, and I will see you soon.